Breaking news, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson just releasing a statement on the Washington Post report that President Trump revealed classified intelligence to the Russian foreign minister and ambassador during a White House visit last week. Quote, during President Trump's meeting with Foreign Minister Lavrov, a broad range of subjects were discussed, among which were common efforts and threats regarding counterterrorism. During that exchange, the nature of specific threats were discussed, but they did not discuss sources, methods, or military operations. Join us now, Knutsson and Paul Viollis. Paul, I'll start with you.
Yes, sir.
Listen, it's almost getting crazy. This is a Washington Post with unnamed sources saying that the President of the United States gave away top secret information during a visit by these top Russian diplomats. What do you make of it?
I think two words, grossly negligent. I didn't hear anything that you just said that would point in that direction, nothing whatsoever. I don't see where they get off trying to make such a statement against the President of the United States without anything that's founded whatsoever, and nothing in there was founded. They had a conversation.
Also, guys, Paul Ryan now commenting on this as well. Quote, we have no way to know what was said, but protecting our nation's secrets is paramount. The Speaker hopes for a full explanation of the facts from the administration. Kurt, not necessarily a full-throated defense, but I guess this is why someone like a Senator Warner feels emboldened to do these things. Every time President Trump is attacked from the mainstream media or these guys like Warner, who's nonstop with this kind of stuff, it feels like a lot of Republicans are lukewarm to coming to his defense.
Well, the other issue right now, actually, Charles, is we have this report out in the Washington Post, but we really don't have it sourcing any evidence other than saying it was code word type clearance information that we don't even give to the allies. But the fact of the matter is, where's the proof? Where's the evidence that shows us that this actually happened at the White House? There are a lot of people from the technology perspective that have concerns about allowing this sort of government inside the Oval Office and what might happen when we do that. But you look at a president who I think has enormously good intentions, but when they call him out as an amateur, it doesn't necessarily mean that the president with any intent did anything that the Washington Post is alleging. We simply don't have the evidence yet.
What you're seeing on the screen there is a press poll awaiting McMaster to come out. He'll probably have a statement, an official statement from the White House. Obviously, we'll keep you up to date on that as well. Back to this whole thing, Paul, the going back and forth, all of the anonymous sources, and these aren't anonymous sources for just innocuous things. These are major claims by the mainstream media, in this case the Washington Post, to be tweeted out by Senator Warner. I say they go beyond incendiary. If they can't prove some of this stuff, how do you make people pay for this on the highest level? I don't know that we've ever seen these sort of accusations tossed at the White House over and over again with anonymous sources every time.
Charles, at the end of the day, if we don't hold people accountable, they're going to keep doing that. And if someone is going to make that kind of accusation, especially against the President of the United States, they need to be held criminally liable. You are alleging treason against the United States, are you not? You're saying that you are giving away top secret information from the United States, jeopardizing the freedom of the American people, and you're blaming the President on that, and it's unfounded with no evidence. I think you need to charge him.
We knew Russia was going to come at the top of their agenda is the idea they want to spearhead these 4 so-called safe havens, safe zones, if you will, in Syria.
Right.
So we knew the conversation would revolve around Syria, perhaps a joint effort between the United States and Russia to provide safety for people there and to uproot ISIS. It makes common sense that they would discuss ISIS, they would discuss some of the things that are going on there. And, I'm not sure, again, how that bears into top secret.
Are we saying just because the President is having a communication with another country that we need to work with, that communication in itself is a violation? I mean, what are we talking about here? Don't you think that we've gone too far?
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, Kurt.
Charles, I got to tell you, what we're missing here is, guess what? The buck stops with President Trump. He is, as do all presidents sitting in the Oval Office, they have the right to declassify, to share what they believe is reasonably necessary, or in their own judgment, they'd like to share with whoever is sitting across from them. There are no laws being broken that we look at in this, even as the Washington Post, if you read through the article of what they've posted online, you don't see anything that shows that any law has been broken. It is simply an idea that, oh, hypothetically, something bad could have happened then.
Right.
Well, what is it? Where's the evidence? Nothing exists.
Let me bring in Emily Jashinsky on this. Emily, the usual suspects, Senator Mark Warner rushing to Twitter to talk about how egregious this was, and of course basing it off a Washington Post article, which is based on, once again, anonymous sources.
Yeah, and you want to hear something even more ridiculous is the DNC's statement on this. Now, the DNC put out a statement saying that, you know, we can't trust President Trump with classified information from the party that nominated Hillary Clinton, who used classified information on an insecure private server. You know, this is just going to be used as political football before we have the facts. This happens every week. We start using with something as political football from an anonymously sourced article without having the facts. That's exactly what's happening here, and it hasn't even been that long that the news is broken.
Yeah, well, the DNC is something of a tin air. Paul, you wanted to jump back in there.
Yeah, I really do. I think at the end of the day, the one word comes down to is accountability. If we are going to allow congressmen, if we're going to allow mainstream media to make accusations like this and we don't hold them accountable, shame on us, Charles.
Let me ask you, Paul, because today there's a lot of scuttlebutt about a big shakeup in the White House. Sean Spicer pushed back against that, but it feels like there's some leaks coming from somewhere within the White House. It feels like there's some disorganization within the White House. Do you think at this point there should be someone like a COO, or do you think it's Reince Priebus that he's up to the task?
First of all, history is nothing more than a cause, event, and result cycle. It always repeats itself. And what we're seeing right now, it's not like we haven't seen another administration. Second, he hasn't been in there that long, Charles. So if he's going through this right now as the CEO of the country right now, and he's realizing he needs to make personnel changes, what is wrong with that? If somebody was selected, fine.
I'm not saying anything is wrong with it, but do you think it might be warranted at this particular time?
I think it's a smart play right now to shave the deck and to start looking at it from a sterilized standpoint as to maybe the people that were put in initially aren't the right people to move forward with.